G'day! I'm reviewing a Belgian beer for the first time in quite a while, I think. It is this cutely labeled beer from Dolle Brewers, which means the Mad Brewers. Belgian brewery that's been open since like 1980. And it's Arabier, which is their Belgian strong pale ale, kind of in the same style as Duvel. But this one's dry hopped, which Duvel sometimes releases a special dry hop version, but they've always dry hopped this beer, and I think they've been making it since the 90s, so they're kind of ahead of the curve. And it's dry hopped with Belgian nugget hops from Poppering in Belgium. And nugget is a hop that is still used in a lot of American IPAs. It used to be a lot more popular. I think the Belgian variety is probably a little less pungent, but it's still a little more in your face than I think Goldings and those other popular ones to be used in European ales. It's 8% alcohol. And this one just came into the area. It was bottled on in July of this year, so it's about 2 months old, which is pretty fresh for a small, not quite rare, but not super popular, not often shipped to America beer from Belgium. So the dry hopping should still be in pretty good shape, I assume. And I just had their Arabier, their Belgian strong dark ale, and that one has a little bit of lactobacillus, and that one I had was 2 years aged and had developed a nice tartness to it. I'm not sure if there's going to be any kind of tartness or wild character to this beer. I think after a couple of years that can happen if you age it, but this one's fresh, so it's probably going to be, you know, pretty much in the Belgian strong pale category. Ooh, very, very carbonated, quite a bit already, seeming like a Duvel. And I think it's simple pale malts happening in here. They didn't even say much about the malts. Poured that. Well, this is in my fridge for a whole day at least. It's got some. Oh, I guess it's not too hazy. It's just kind of hard to see underneath all that head. But it's just a tinge darker than Duvel, I would say. Ooh. And that's a really nice, slightly lemony, citric, just barely slightly grassy hop aroma coming out of it. It's really nice. Yeah, it smells a lot like Duvel, but perhaps a little bit more of a really fresh version. But that aroma is really nice, and I'm getting it pretty strong even through that insanely thick head. Yeah, definitely very well bottle conditioned. I guess when you pour this, you want to do it real slowly. I thought I was doing it kind of slowly, but I do like a good amount of head. It's gonna eventually make its way, but the head is thick, rich, rocky. I guess there are some big bubbles starting to develop and break it down a little bit, but that is a very good looking Belgian strong pale ale beer. And it has, yeah, not a huge, big, sweet, yeasty aroma. It actually smells a lot like a Saison, like a big Saison in a way, but not bubblegummy, not banana-y though. It's got a lot of that pear going on. It's not too spicy though in the aroma. Yeah, it's like a juicy pear a little bit going on, I think. But it smells very nice. Yeah, mainly a pear and sort of lemon. Definitely orange, mandarin orange thing going on. Very nice. And the head is starting to dissipate. And yeah, it's getting real rocky and getting some nice peaks and everything you can sort of see there. And now you can kind of get a sense of the color slightly. It looks quite a bit darker on camera though, because the head's still kind of preventing the light. Ooh, lots of hop flavor. Good amount of bitterness for this style. Wow. At Duvel, it's not nearly this bitter. There's some resinous qualities going on. Definitely drying out my mouth quite a bit, and a little bit of boozy heat in the finish. It's 8%, but There's no like a solvent sort of a nail polish remover weird things happening with the phenols. I'm noticing a little bit of a chalkiness too. This yeast is almost has that bitter pill Brettanomyces sort of finish thing going on, though I'm not getting any actual Brettanomyces presence in any other way. I think it's just from their yeast that dries it out quite a bit, and the pretty heavy hopping for a Belgian beer. This almost reminds me of some of the Brasserie de la Seine beers, except those ones are usually a little more heavily dry hopped, I think. But I like it quite a bit, and the head is looking really cool, getting all rocky, and an interesting sort of island is almost starting to form in the middle, because I got a perfect little agitator in the center here from this Mystic glass that's very much like a less ostentatious Duvel glass, so I guess it's pretty darn appropriate for this beer. Oh yeah, this is almost like a Belgian IPA, in my opinion, but with the like Belgian ingredients sort of IPA. It's much more bitter than Delirium or Duvel, even the dry hop Duvels I've had. And yeah, it's finishing with like, it's a little bit musty. It's got a lot of hop oil acid things happening, definitely. And the aroma, now that I can get my nose in there, has a little bit of a musty thing going on too. Probably some of the more interesting yeasty spices happening. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's not. There's definitely no wild yeast character. Coming out. I had a friend, I think, had a bottle of this that was like 2 or 3 years old, and he thought that it maybe was Brett infected. But yeah, this really seems like a cross between a really hoppy saison and a Belgian pale ale, or a Belgian sort of IPA style. A good amount of bitterness in the finish still. Whew, it's almost too much for me, surprisingly. That rarely happens with a Belgian beer, because I love the Daranka Double X bitter. That's one of the most hoppy Belgian beers out there. But that one's a little lower on the alcohol. I feel like with this one being high in the alcohol, but also really dry, it's really creating a dryness and giving me that cat tongue where I feel every single taste bud texture on my tongue. It almost reminds me of like a Stone beer, except that I'm enjoying this a lot more. And I got some nice lacing happening there. Yeah, I feel like the finish is just a little bit rough for me. I love the aroma and the flavors, but it's like the finish is really chalky, and pretty intense, peppery, almost coriander notes, and very, very bitter. I'm gonna have to probably I'll probably give it like an 80, 83 or something. I've been giving all these beers the same scores, but it's special, and I love what they've done with it, but it's not like a lot of other Belgian strong pales where they're really easy to drink in a way. They kind of hide their booze and everything. They're dry and slightly bitter, but in the way that makes it so it's refreshing. You can keep drinking it. This one maybe is just a tad too dry. The body is kind of fluffy, but then it kind of rakes your tongue a little bit. Yeah, all that carbonation is making it seem really light. I'm not even noticing exactly how malty it is. But after a few sips, it's like, whoa. It's almost seems like maybe this would be a little better aged if I keep it out of the sunlight and stuff, when the bitterness may have subsided a teeny bit. Even though usually with dry hop beers for me, it's like fresher the better. I wonder, what this is like fresh from the brewery, because this bottle's about 2 months old. But yeah, we'll do 80, 85 around there for this beer. If you like Belgian strong pales, like Duvel, you should definitely give this one a try. It's really, really unique. Fans of Delirium, maybe not so much, because Delirium's a little bit sweeter, more yeasty, not big on the hops. And if you're into Belgian IPAs, I would give this one a try too. So, see you later.